Nestle, it's cutting 16,000 jobs, or roughly 6% of its workforce. The world's largest packaged food maker says the move will help it cut costs and win back investor confidence. The Swiss maker of Kit Kats, Nespresso, Perrier is trying to reverse stalling sales growth as it faces U.S. import tariffs.
Welcome. I am Dena, and this is Discussions with Dena. The Nestle company is reportedly expecting to cut 16,000 jobs worldwide over the next 2 years. Now that includes around 12,000 white-collar positions, as well as 4,000 in manufacturing and the supply chain. It is about 6% of its global workforce, according to the company. Once this was a steady growth company, but now Nestle has in the past experienced sluggish sales, which were believed to be due to internal missteps and a pullback in consumer spending, basically due to inflation. Now, shares in the world's largest food company have fallen 35% since the beginning of 2022. Nestle is now aiming to improve its own business. But the company is also dealing with consumer spending issues, declines as a result of inflation, as well as the global uncertainty. Simultaneously, some of Nestle's brands are being impacted by higher coffee and cocoa costs due partly to tariffs that were levied and put in place by President Trump. Now, the new CEO, CEO Navratil, is said to be simplifying Nestle operations in an attempt to expand their automation and boost the company's efficiency. Now, these cuts are said to vary according to the different regions and is subject to consultation wherever it is appropriate. Note again that Navratil's appointment marks the third CEO at the Switzerland-based food giant in a little more than just a year. Navratil may be the new CEO, but he is certainly not new to the Nestle company. His career began with Nestle back in 2001 as an internal auditor, and has since held several roles for Nestle, including overseeing its coffee and beverage business in Mexico starting in 2013. He also took over Nespresso in July 2024, where he is said to have accelerated growth and built strong momentum. And that, of course, is according to Nestle. Now, this new CEO wrote in a post on LinkedIn that the company is evolving. It will simplify Nestle and automate their process. Is that code for AI is taking a lot of your jobs away, people? But the CEO says that they are making hard yet necessary decisions in an effort to reduce their headcount around the world, and it will be done with respect and transparency, is what he says. And that includes leveraging digitalization and automation. Now, the restructuring is a part of its Fuel for Growth initiative, expecting it to generate CHF 1 billion in annual savings for the 2027 year. Navratil became CEO once again back in September after the previous CEO stepped down after only 1 year in the role. Now, is he the same Nestle CEO that was fired after being in a romantic relationship with one of his subordinates? That's interesting. Amazon is also reportedly preparing to cut some of their workforce in addition to what they've already cut. Now, these cuts are said to be tied to automation initiatives as well, further signaling a broader shift among major corporations towards cost reduction and digital integration. Now, Nestle shares surged 8% after quarter three growth beat their expectations, and following the 16,000 job cut announcement. The Switzerland based food and beverage company reported stronger than expected real internal growth in the third quarter and outlined plans for significant cost reduction. Now, the total sales for the first 9 months of 2025 had declined by 1.9%. Organic growth rose 3.3%. And by region, the Americas reported 25.3 billion in sales with 2.5% organic growth. Then there was Asia and Africa who posted 15.3 billion with 2.7% growth. Even China reduced group organic growth by zero point 0.8 percent points in the third quarter. Now, by segment, Nestle Health Science delivered 3.8% organic growth, supported by 4.1% real internal growth. Now, Nespresso recorded 6.7% organic growth, fueled by pricing and double-digit gains in North America. RBC Capital Markets said that the results could confirm that Nestle is on its rehabilitation journey. Nestle was and still remains the world's largest food and beverage player. The new CEO also said that the company will prioritize businesses with the highest potential returns and invest more heavily in innovation. The world is changing, he said, and Nestle needs to change faster. This just seems to be a common strategy used by most all the companies today that leaves many people unemployed. We say one person lost a job, but that person could be responsible for 3, 4, 5 people. We just don't know. We see one, but it affects many more people. Choosing to reduce the workforce and replace workers with AI for profit, it's a big issue. And perhaps one day consumers will eventually have to wake up and start to strategize. That is in order to save themselves and the workforce of the future. One conceivable way is to develop a list of companies that choose to employ workers and maybe forego greed and focus more on the cost to humanity as a whole. I know it's a big maybe for anyone to resist making more money and the urge to make more profit, but we have to ask the question, at whose expense do we do this and how will it affect us in the future and how work is done? Now, there is a point where we will have to decide ultimately what it is that is in the best interest of people and humanity. Is it instead better to replace humans with artificial technology? Then how would income be made? I believe AI will be a force to be reckoned with within the very near future. What do you think about this topic of discussion? Do you think that the tariffs are partially to blame for the need to cut jobs and restructure? And how do you think the 16,000 job loss due to AI from Nestle will impact you? Or will it? Will it impact your community or perhaps someone that you know? Subscribe and leave me your thoughts on this. I want to thank you for listening. Join me next time for another discussion with Dena. Ta-ta!
This concludes your daily discussions with Dena. Join us Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment.